You saying what we found is okay? What did you find? You know what the guy just told you we found? I don't know anything about what you're talking about. That thing that was found, you're gonna have to tell me what was found. So you want me to say the word? You gotta tell me what was found. I mean, you know the thing that was found. Ma'am, I don't know what thing was found. You know that thing. I don't want to say the word and panic people. Ma'am, you gonna have to just say the word because I don't know what you're talking. Next thing you know, the inch done popped off. Why they sitting here going back and forth about, you want me to say the word? Should I say the word? I don't know the word. What word are you talking about? Ma'am, I don't know the word. You gotta say the word. You want me to say the word? I don't want to say the word. You gotta say the word. I am not the one that is not for the incite mass panic. I don't want to incite panic. Baby, it's a reason to fucking panic. We need to panic. I just could not believe this. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will be reviewing my very first Apple series, the Idris Elba Hijack. Now, I am one of those people. Look, I'm Android, okay? I'm not switching to iPhone. But anytime I see something about an Apple series, I'm always like, dang, I want to see an Apple show. And when I tried to look into getting Apple, I could have sworn what I saw was like, you got to have an Apple device, you know, iTunes account or whatever to get Apple TV. So I just was like, ah, darn. Like, no Apple TV for me. But then I just randomly discovered that I get Apple TV through my T-Mobile cell phone. So I'm like, wait, what? So yes, with my T-Mobile account, I can get Apple TV on my TV. My little Roku TV. So I have Apple. And so now I am about to go down the rabbit hole of Apple series. All the Apple shows that I either been wanting to see, been like even way back to like C. I feel like I've been hearing about that show for like, I don't know, 5 years. Like, it's been a long time. I don't know if I'm gonna get to it though, because of some of the stuff I done heard. But I have quite a few series on my list to get to. The number one series I wanted to get to first, though, was Blackbird. But then I heard some disturbing stuff. And, you know, I'm sensitive to certain things. So I was like, darn. But we are starting with Hijack. It was the lead in the poll that I put up for which series I should start first on Apple. So we are starting with Hijack. And I gotta say, so far, Apple is on point. I really enjoyed this series. I mean, like, thoroughly. It was flawed. Nothing's perfect, but overall, this was a very solid and entertaining watch. Now, if you're not familiar and you ain't got Apple like I ain't have Apple and you just gonna live through me, let's get to it. Hijack is pretty much how it sounds. We are following a hijacking of an aircraft, and it's pretty much giving Passenger 57, Air Force One without the president. And what was the one with Halle Berry and Kurt Russell? Executive Decision. So if you're a fan of that little, I guess we'll call it a subgenre of like planes being taken hostage, I think you will enjoy this. It's also giving 24 vibes, where it's a 7-hour flight and it almost kind of maybe happens a little bit in real time. It's a 7-hour flight and it's a 7-episode series. And I'm not sure exactly how long each episode is, but I think it's maybe an hour, or like 45 minutes, like something in that realm. So it's about it. Look, it's giving us 24 vibes. Okay. 7-hour flight over the course of 7 episodes. Now, I feel like with this story, everything ties together really well. But the number one thing that they do well with this series is the buildup of like the tension it creates. I don't know how they did this show. Like, if it was like, how does Apple do their shows? I don't even know. Like, do they just drop them all? Or like Netflix? Or is it like an episode every week like HBO? I don't know. But I binged this all 7 episodes together. For me, that is the best way to watch this show. Babe, I ain't waiting another week. Like, and especially when you want to have that tension of being encapsulated on this little plane in this tight situation on a time crunch. I definitely think when it comes to the tension and everything like that and the suspense level, I think it is best enjoyed binging it. Now, The series, y'all, it's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, I'm finna try to remember 7 episodes worth of stuff with a lot of moving parts, so bear with me. So it starts off with Idris Elba. He's at the airport. He's getting on the... Wait, no, before we see him, we see like a security lady that works at the airport. And you don't really know what's happening, but you know something suspect is going on with the way things is moving and the way people, you know, is looking. So Idris Elba gets to like the boarding gate or whatever. He's about to get on the flight, but then we see this guy that's like running through. He running late, and after Idris Elba goes through, the lady puts up the little thing like, "Oh nope, gate closed," and the guy is just begging like to get on the plane. Right now, I'm gonna be jumping back and forth in this, okay? I hope that y'all don't mind that. But I gotta say stuff while I remember it, just in case I forget. Now we see this guy running late to get on the plane, and the lady not letting him on, but Idris Elba, you know, getting away with pretty privilege because, you know, he look attractive, so you more likely to listen to attractive folks. And, you know, he charming too. But he's telling the lady at the gate, you know, like, what is it going to hurt? You know, just let this one guy in. It's not a big deal. So she lets the guy on. Now, it's a lot to unpack and unravel when it comes to these hijackers and their motives. The series starts off where we don't know why they are hijacking the plane. But we finna jump to the very end of the series. It's a lot of moving parts. But at the one part of the motive is... the bad guys, the little villain people, they, I don't know how stock work, but you pretty much can get like an inside traders thing, I guess it would be called, where you know something gonna happen, so you kind of bet a certain way with the stock. I don't even know how the hell you bet on stock. Like, I don't know how this works, but basically... when they hijack the aircraft and like their insurance carrier, like stock drops when the public finds out. And this guy that's rushing to the plane is the stock person that made the deal so that the villains can get all this money. But it confused me as to why he on the plane. I did a deal for like the stock, but why am I on this plane? Or did he not know and the hijackers just decided to take him out and put him on a hijack plane? I don't know, y'all. So if you saw the series, fill me in, because that was the only thing that was confusing me. Was I could not figure out why would this guy be on a hijack plane. But the way the villains worked, all the people didn't know every part of the plan. Like, just because I'm one of the hijackers don't mean I know about the stock guy. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't all know, kind of like the Dark Knight, when we had all them people robbing the bank, and then when this person supposed to shoot that person, nobody really knew the whole plan. That's how this is. Like, all the different bad guys, they just like pawns. They don't know the full scheme of things. So I'm not sure if this stock guy knew about the hijacking. Presumably not, because he wouldn't have been on the damn plane. But I'm going to presume he didn't know about the hijacking. But I was confused why this plane got hijacked that the stockbroker just so happened to be on. But anyway, so we get on the plane and we get introduced to our cast of characters, right? Now, another thing that this show has going for it is the characters. And y'all know I'm easily aggravated. There was only one character that I just didn't like. Like, we have unlikable characters, but I mean, didn't like in the sense of I just did not enjoy them in the series. Like, even if somebody is written as an unlikable character or a villain character, that doesn't necessarily denote that I just don't enjoy the character, right? So the only character I just personally didn't enjoy was the female hijacker character. I don't know why they wrote her so far to the left. She was the only hijacker that was damn angry. Well, the one who spoke Muslim, he had quite the attitude, but hers was like, I don't know. It was too over the top. She was like mad for no reason. And out of all the hijackers, she kind of had like y'all, she was annoying. She just had too much of an attitude. It was nasty work. You know what who she reminded me of? She reminded me of, was her name Amanda, the girl from Saw that was in the Saw trap because she was on drugs, and then she survived. She had the thing wrapped around her head, and I think she had to cut a key out of somebody's stomach, and then she was working with Jigsaw and, like, was it Saw 3? With the doctor that got kidnapped, whose son had been killed. Y'all, you know who I'm talking about. This is who she was giving me. Do y'all remember how in that Saw movie, when they kidnapped that female doctor and stuff, how mean and nasty the girl was acting towards her for, like, no reason? Like, baby, you kidnapped me. Why you mad? That is how this female hijacker was acting. Like, baby, you hijacked our plane. Like, why you mad? Like, it was so irksome. Everything she said, everything she did, it just irked my nerve, and I couldn't hardly even take it. Now, Idris Elba character, he is flying out of Dubai, and he's going to London, and he buys this expensive gift. He's going to, like, gift it to his wife or whatever, but it get confused because he checked social media and his wife booed up with some white guy. And I'm just like, baby, you ain't checked social media before you bought the ticket, bought the expensive jewelry, and got your ass on the plane? I thought that was very weird. Like, and then I was confused as to the timeline of how stuff happened, because she was being referred to as his wife, but she had some white guy sleeping in her bed. How long has old boy been in Dubai? How long have y'all been separated? How you got a whole nother nigga and he don't know about it? Like, I didn't understand what was happening. I didn't. Like, how you buying a gift and going home when your lady got another fella? I don't know. And something else that didn't make no sense. So Idris Elba character, Sam is his character's name, I think. Is this unnecessary, like, little mystery around what does he do for a living? You know what I mean? Now, he ain't Liam Neeson from Taken. Like, I don't know why they made it so dramatic. Now, when the hijacking starts to go off, he texts his wife the dumbest freaking text known to man. It was some mess, like, oh shoot, I can't remember exact. Wait, let me see if it's in my notes. I want to get exactly what the hell he said because it was stupid. Okay, y'all. So the text that Idris Elba character sent was incident on board. Serious incident on board, but I will make it home to you. I love you. I always will. Now, mind you, they about to cut the Wi-Fi. They trying to take phones. He trying to sneak and send the text message. First of all, that's dumb. That's a long ass man. Why you don't just send plane hijacked? Like, plane hijacked. Serious. For real. Like, serious incident on board. Baby, serious incident on board could mean anything. Maybe they out of the champagne. Maybe there ain't no more pretzels and peanuts. Maybe it's a baby crying next to you. Maybe the air conditioner ain't working. It's a lot of incidents. Like, no, you need to say hijack. Guns. Niggas with guns. Like, it just irked my nerves so bad. I will make it home to you. Like, bro. So, the wife is dating a detective. And they have a teenage son, or college age teenage son. And they get this whole dramatic moment of what does he do? First of all, baby, you're spending the night at this lady's house. Y'all been dating for some time, I presume. You got the condoms in the nightstand at her house, but you don't know what her nigga do. Like, you don't know what her husband does for. That never came up in conversation. Like, why only now is it? What does he do? But they made it so freaking over dramatic. And I still don't know what the hell he put on his income tax. I don't know what his profession is. But the wife and the son says it's hard to explain. Why? Come on now, child. But the wife and son ends up telling the detective that some mess of whether it's a takeover or a merger. He goes in and he negotiates. What are y'all talking about? I mean, like, seriously, what are y'all talking about? But they was just so dramatic with the whole, the negotiations. He's the best at handling it. Like, if y'all, they just made it so dramatic. But I do like how in this particular hijack action suspense scenario, our main protagonist isn't really using strength, and fighting. He's using brain power. Like, he's using his cleverness to be able to help the situation. So I did enjoy that aspect, because this wasn't like, Bruce Willis climbing around his wife's office in Die Hard, fighting and shooting and taking out bad guys. It was just a situation of talking and getting into the hijacker's mind and like kind of playing this little game verbally and mentally. So I really enjoyed that aspect. And Idris Elba is the right actor for that, because he just comes off as so smooth and so charming. You feel like he could talk your ass out of anything. At least I do. But now we're on the plane. We're just starting to board. We get some little, for me, insignificant little situations where like but I get it. You're introducing the characters, but for me, it's kind of insignificant. But you got the guy sitting next to Idris in business class, and he like playing this game on his phone with the volume up real loud. But this ain't make no sense to me, because when we first meet this character, he comes off very obnoxious, very rude. But then he turns into like a nice guy once the flight takes off, so that was confusing. But anyway, then we got the family that's traveling together, mom, dad, 2 young kids, and a really like neurotic mom. And she kind of gets into it a bit with a lady sitting in a seat, like not right next to her, but kind of diagonally next to her. And even goes so far as to like have to incite and say something to the girl when all she does is like look at her. But one part that was not insignificant is we have these like teen girls or college teen girls. So one of the girls is kind of having a little interaction with this older guy. And he like puts her bag up in the overhead for her. They go to the bathroom. He just so happened to go to the bathroom when she goes. And y'all, some stuff in the show did feel contrived, but whatever. So he just so happened to go to the bathroom when the young girl goes to the bathroom, right? And I knew from the jump that he felt suspicious. And mind you, I ain't seen no preview for this show. I just heard about the show. I saw the little poster and I wanted to see it. But just seeing this guy, his interaction, the whole I'm old fashioned, and how he just miraculously, kind of popped up. He felt off to me. So the young lady goes into the bathroom and she just so happens to see a bullet on the ground. I am not the one that is not for the incite mass panic. Nigga, I would have been panicking. I would have ran out of that bathroom holding the bullet, yelling. Like, no, I'm too emotional. I'm too overdramatic. I would have been flipping. I am not that. I'm not subtle. I'm not finna sit there quietly holding the damn bullet. No. But anyway, the girl goes out of the bathroom. Why does she tell this guy what she found? She tells her little friends that's with her. And the guy says, well, I'll go to one of the flight attendants. First of all, I'm not relying on him to tell them that. I don't know, y'all. Of course, he turns out to be one of the hijackers. But that's just so contrived that... How many hijackers we had? We had the 2 brothers, the lady, 5 hijackers. 5 hijackers on a flight of 216. You mean to tell me that one of the hijackers just so happened to get this little repertoire with the girl that just so happened to find a bullet that shouldn't never the hell been left in the back? It just didn't make no sense. Okay? It was contrived. But I'm not even going to knock the show for that. Like, whatever. Now, this is when I really got pissed off. So, the older guy that's the hijacker that talked to the girl about the bullet, he goes to talking about, I got to say something to my nephew in business class. And the stewardess, of course, is like, you're not allowed to go over there. But he's like, all right, thank you. And he go. So, the guy in business class is y'all, let me look up these people's names. Y'all know I am terrible with names. Let me look up this guy's name. So, the older guy who gets the bullet from the young lady, he goes to Stewart. That's the guy. Stewart is the ringleader hijacker. Well, the ringleader on the flight, because it's other folks pulling the strings. But that's the ringleader on the flight. And the husband, I was telling, not the husband, the wife, y'all, what is he? Boyfriend, side dude? I don't know. His name is Daniel. Now, Stewart and the older guy, what's the older guy name? Y'all, I can't with names. Like, y'all already know that. Where, y'all, this is, was it Yusuf? No, this don't look like him. It was a white guy. That actor don't look white. I can't find him, y'all. Wait, is it Simon? Y'all, I can't tell. Because this is an actor that I don't even really know. Is it Neil? Neil. No, it's not Neil. Y'all, I don't know who the hell this guy. Who the hell? Wait, is it? No, Edgar. It say Edgar was only on 2 episodes, so it can't be Edgar. Y'all, who is this man? Anyway, it's insignificant, okay? The older guy, hijacker, go to Stewart in business class about the girl finding a bullet. And baby, y'all slap it, because no bullet shouldn't have been found. But this also ain't make sense to me. Because the lady that's working in security at the airport, she in on it. We kidnap her family so that we could get the guns on board. So why wouldn't just have the gun damn loaded? Why did we have to go in the bathroom on the flight to load the gun to drop a bullet for somebody to find? Why we ain't... I mean, because why would you have to load bullets? Ain't it just a clip? And the clip got the bullets in it? So I could see the clip and the bullet being separate, and you got to put the clip up into the gun. Did I just say the clip and bullets being separate? I can see the clip and the gun being separate, and you got to put the clip into the gun once we get on the plane. But why the hell would you have to sit there physically loading bullets? Because the type of guns that we're using, it was like one of the... I don't really know nothing about guns, but what I see in movies. But you either got that gun with the circle thing where you got to like put the bullets in, or a shotgun where you got to like put the bullets in. But then you got that gun where it's like a clip of bullets and you like hit it in there. They had the clip that you just hit in there. So why was we in the bathroom just loading, whatever. So they go back and forth because we were supposed to start the hijacking at a certain time point in the flight. Like, I can't remember what it was, but like 2 hours into the flight, like X amount of time into the flight was when we were supposed to start the hijacking, right? So, I forgot the man's name already. Stewart. So Stewart, they going back and forth because this ain't really how things were supposed to be happening, okay? Now, we go ahead and Stewart tells the older guy, put this hat on, make sure all the other hijackers see you, because this is like a signal that we about to start the hijacking. And Idris Elba can't hear what they talking about, but he see them, he feel like issues is, being suspect. So he gets up and he leaves business class walking through the plane, and he goes sit next to this lady because the hijacking, oh wait, y'all, before the hijacking takes off, the older guy goes back to sit down, and the young girl's just like, what's going on? And he tried to tell Stewart that they not gonna buy, this story you want me to spin for the bullet. He's like, well, they just gotta buy it for like 30 minutes or something like that. Because basically the story that the older guy spins for the girls is, oh, I told the stewardess and it's nothing to worry about. Some security person that's supposed to be on the plane got sick and went to the bathroom and dropped the book. It ain't made no sense. But the main girl that he was talking to who found the bullet, it's just like, all right, okay, nothing sounds suspicious. That sounds perfectly right. But one of her homegirls is questioning, and she keep going on and on like, this don't make no sense. And you could see the older guy was trying to play like he was nice, but he was losing his patience the more old girl kept questioning it. And the guy in the seat in front of them was kind of like, what the hell going on back there? But so he keep trying to spin the tale. Now, the girl, the friend, not the one that found the bullet, she hits the button to call the stewardess over. And her friend is just like, no, don't call. Like, we don't want to incite panic. The girl was getting on my nerves. The friend was the smart one. Call the damn stewardess, tell them yourself. But the friend who found the bullet, she just was acting dipsy. So we get a flight attendant who comes over, who was Arthur, I think his name was. I think it was Arthur, y'all. I don't really know these actors, so just looking at the little cast is hard, but he looked Asian, and this actor looked Asian, so I think it's Arthur. So he goes over to the girls, and this whole back and forth was so frustrating and nauseating. So you saying what we found is okay? What did you find? You know what the guy just told you we found? I don't know anything about what you're talking about. That thing that was found, you're gonna have to tell me what was found. So you want me to say the word? You gotta tell me what was found. I mean, you know the thing that was found. Ma'am, I don't know what thing was found. You know that thing. I don't want to say the word and panic people. Ma'am, you gonna have to just say the word because I don't know what you're talking about. Get the fuck! Get up! Put it, like, next thing you know, the inch done popped off. While they sitting here going back and forth about, you want me to say the word? Should I say the word? I don't know the word. What word are you talking about? Ma'am, I don't know the word. You gotta say the word. You want me to say the word? I don't want to say the word. You gotta say the word. That got on my nerves so bad. Like, bitch, if you don't just say we found the motherfucking bullet. Yo, I could not with this scene. It was so stupid. I have never in my life. I don't want to incite panic. Baby, it's a reason to motherfucking panic. We need to panic. I just could not believe this. Oh my God. And then all the trust that the girl who found the bullet had in the strange older guy, because what? He put your bag up in the overhead compartment and said, I'm old fashioned, and let you go to the bathroom first. You just trust this nigga? Like, I was so confused why she was just so trusting of him. Y'all. So the hijacking takes off. And remember, Idris Elba got up, so he's not in his seat. He sits next to this lady who she gonna kind of find out gonna play a major role. But he sits next to some lady who, at the moment, I'm obviously not paying much attention to. She kind of scared. He telling her, you know, it's gonna be okay, whatever. We gotta get home to your family. I got a family too. Now we tell the story where we're following the story on the plane, right? But we are also following the story on the ground. Kind of like that movie Plane that just came out. So we follow a lot of moving parts. And it's like we follow a lot of moving parts and a lot of people that's outside. Some secretary, some other lady who like high ranking, the people that's in the flight controller room, some lady that worked with some kind of national security thing. I can't think. But she is like the ex. I think she was an ex of Daniel, the cop, the wife, side guy, boyfriend. We follow a lot of people, right? And I personally think they did well with how they told the story and put these people in, but not in every aspect. For example, we got one lady that works in the flight control room or whatever, and we like see her with her son, dropping him off to school. She running late. She tell her boss he's sick or some ish like that. I don't know. For me, it was kind of unnecessary. And then at the very end of the movie, when everything wraps up, she get a call that her son's sick in school or something like that. And the boss is like, wait, I thought you said da-da-da-da. So I don't know. objectively, I get it. They're trying to tell like a well-rounded story. But for me, I just felt like I'd rather see more about what's happening on the plane or whatever. I don't care about this lady and her son and making up a lie to her boss for why she running late or whatever. But whatever, that could just be me. So another situation we have that's happening on the ground that I was really into was the airport in Dubai. We had the security lady who I told y'all that was holding her family hostage so that she could, let them pass through security. But then I feel like that didn't make no sense. But y'all, am I wrong? So I can't even get into like the technical aspects of stuff that happens on this show. Okay, I'm scared of flying. I done only been on a plane one time my whole life, so I don't know much to do about nothing. However, the security lady was sitting at the screen where you like put your bag through the machine and they can like x-ray vision the thing. Okay, so that gets them through with their guns. But I thought they physically look through your bag. Am I wrong on that? Like, just because you pass it through the little thing, don't they look through your bag? Because why do I feel like I see movies where they like look through your bag? So I'm still not sure how they was able to get through. But whatever the hell, that's insignificant. Now, it was also somebody in Dubai working in the little flight crew room or whatever, right? And he ends up getting suspicious about the situation and what's going on. But put a pin in that because we got to jump back to the plane. So the hijacking starts and we got the pilot and the co-pilot. And you're not supposed to let anybody into the what is the thing called, y'all? No, it's not a cabin. I can't think. But you're not supposed to let them. I can't think of the word, y'all. What is that area called where the pilot and the co-pilot sit at and the door stay locked? Cockpit. God damn it. I could not think of the word. Cockpit. You're not supposed to let them in the cockpit. So the captain, who is Robin, and then the co-captain, who is Anna. When I tell y'all, this pissed me off so bad. And I really feel like it did not make any logical sense. So the hijackers obviously want to get into the cockpit. They pop this off too quick. They don't want the ground to know that they've hijacked anything. Now, as I'm watching the show, I didn't know that they don't want the ground to know just because the hijacking popped off too soon. Because for quite a while, they don't let the ground know they're being hijacked. They want the ground to think everything is normal. And we don't know no kind of demands. Like, it's like a secret hijacking. And we don't know the motives. We don't know what they want. But the main hijacker, I forgot his name, Stewart, they end up grabbing up a one of the stewardess ladies, right? And while this is happening, the other hijackers is taking everybody's phones and devices. They're saying the Wi-Fi is off. We taking your phones and stuff. And one of the characters, I don't know if it was Idris or somebody else, did make a comment about if the Wi-Fi is off, why do they need to take our devices? Which I was thinking the exact same thing as it was unfolding. So at this point, you could still get a message out because the Wi-Fi is controlled inside the cockpit. So we end up taking a stewardess, and I didn't even look for her name. It's insignificant. So come to find out, the hijackers know that the stewardess and the pilot, what was his name? Robin, are having an affair. So, like, the pilot is married with kids. He having an affair with this stewardess. When I tell y'all, this damn pilot, as the pilot, the leader, you are responsible for 216 passenger lives. You mean to tell me you risk everyone's life for your side chick? Y'all, like, it ain't make no sense. And it ain't even opening the cockpit. Well, that's a big part of it. And risking everybody's life. But it's the fact that the co-pilot was trying hard not to let him do it. When I tell y'all, he picked up like a thermos and beat the damn brakes off the co-pilot to let the hijackers in. Y'all, this was so asinine. First of all, I'm sure it should. Y'all don't run drills or have protocols. Like, I'm pretty sure the number one tactic that somebody would use to get into the cockpit would be to say, I'm going to kill this person. Obviously, it might not be a person that you having an affair with, but it could be one of your coworkers. It could be an innocent passenger. It could be a child. I'm sure when you go through the drill, even if they threaten, it's still you do not let anybody in this cockpit. And I just feel like when you are in a position of leadership, all selfish things are supposed to go out the window. Your life supposed to go out the window. Somebody you care, like your responsibility is to the passengers. I just felt like him beating the hell out of that woman, out of that co-pilot, that was so disgusting. Then the stupidity of letting them in the cockpit. You at that, and y'all, I ain't gonna lie. When he let them in the cockpit, I was thinking, I hope they kill your mistress anyway. I would have, cause you know, if I'm a villain, I'm gonna be goddamn evil and ruthless. I'd have shot it anyway, and it would have been exactly what that pilot deserved. Because you are so stupid. They could have opened that door, killed you. Like, they could have just crashed the whole damn plane, killed everybody. So what? That just irked my nerves so freaking bad that he would do that. Now, before they hold the lady hostage, they end up being able to tell the ground there's an incident. They see the guy in the camera with a gun. Oh yeah, it's a serious incident. I don't know why the hell they didn't say it's a nigga on the plane with a gun. But they're just like, oh yeah, it's a serious incident. I don't know why the hell. Idris texts a serious incident. The pilot gonna tell ground control it's why the hell we kept saying incident? That was pissing me off. We are literally on a plane. You see somebody with a gun. This is a life or death situation. The first thing I would be thinking is niggas finna crash the plane and we all finna die. Why the hell didn't we immediately say we being hijacked, somebody on here with a gun? It don't take that many words. I don't know why they kept saying incident, serious incident. Like, if y'all don't just say what the hell is happening. So the co-pilot, the lady, is trying to stop him from opening that door. We cannot open this door. But he telling her, look, my side piece is out there. Okay. That is a hot piece of tail. And I'm going to open this door. And don't you try to stop me. I'm beat the damn brakes off you. But of course, doing her job and responsibility, she tries to stop him. And he takes the thermos. And when I tell y'all, this lady looked like she got hit by a bus. He beat the goddamn brakes off this lady. I really couldn't be on his side for the rest of the program. Like, I couldn't. And I'm sitting here like, baby, it ain't like they had your child at gunpoint. They ain't had your mama. They ain't had your grandma. But anyway. So he ends up letting them in the cockpit. And Stewart tells him to turn off the Wi-Fi. And he has them tell ground control, oh, everything all good, false alarm. Now, the guy that's on the ground in Dubai, he still thinks something is weird. He ends up going to security, watching the people going on the security camera getting on this particular flight. And he notices like something weird with the security girl, and she literally, after the plane boards, she gets up and leaves. And he's like, why did she just go? And the person in security thinks, oh, maybe her shift was over. We don't know. So they find out her shift wasn't over. She left early. Now, y'all, I don't know why they had to add in this little detail. But it's the guy's birthday. This is the day of his birth. So he off the clock, okay? And he decides like something is strange, something going on. He finds out that was not the end of the girl's shift. She just left. He decides to go to her house. Oh, I felt so bad for this man, y'all. I felt so bad. So he ends up, now we in Dubai. This is where the plane took off from. Y'all, he goes to the lady's house. He walk in the house and see these cleaners. Maybe I'm just extra paranoid, but nothing seemed right with these cleaners. So he go in, he looking for the lady. He like, hey, where is XYZ? Whatever the lady name is. And the cleaners is like, oh, you know, they moving. We just clean the apartment. Just going on upstairs. But they say it, the guy says it very menacing. Like, they just seem, I would not have walked in that house. I would not have. So they just like, yeah, you know, go up the stairs. The family up there. So he walks up the stairs. And he just walking slow, looking around, calling the girl name. Ain't nobody saying nothing. He opens the bathroom door and finds the family dead. And this pissed me off. He walking backwards slowly. Baby, 2 people are downstairs that with folks dead upstairs. And you just walking backwards slowly. He gets killed on his birthday, y'all. They shoot him. Oh, why do we have to add that detail about it being his birthday? I don't know. That was just so sad. Like, he got killed on his birthday. And he was, like, on the phone with his wife making plans for dinner. This was terrible. I felt so bad. And he seemed like a nice guy. It was so sad, y'all. So at this point, nobody on the ground know the plane is like hijacked, right? Because he the only person was paying any attention. But when Idris sends that text to his wife, she sees the text. She tells Daniel, who ends up hitting up what was the name of his ex? His ex, I think the way they was interacting and the girl was like, you know, don't call me, you know, talking to me about this no more. Cause he was talking about his, the new lady he with and her ex, I don't think they said ex, her husband, and he trying to figure out if she done moved on because she sure really wrapped up in him. Y'all, I don't know this lady's name. I can't tell. Y'all, these actors be looking the same. Like, if I don't really know these people. So they kind of look the same to me. Okay, Jamie, I think that's the hijacker lady that was getting on my nerve. Jaden, is the hijacker that was speaking Muslim, because we're leaving from out of Dubai. So when the hijackers take over and they giving instructions, the one hijacker saying it in English, and then the other hijacker, Jaden, is saying it, you know, in Arabic, I think it's called. Y'all, ain't it Arabic? Yeah, I think that's what they speak. He was saying it in Arabic. Okay, I don't know this lady's name. But she had black hair, but I can't tell who she is. Is she Susie? Is she Adelaide? Y'all, I don't know who she is. Amanda. Who is Amanda? Oh, Amanda is the lady who had the son who was working on ground control. But anyway, Daniel ends up, you know, he tells Idris' wife, you know, I'll look into this. I'll figure out, you know, if anything is wrong. Because she tries to text him back and he don't respond, obviously, because he can't. And Idris ends up getting up to go back to his seat because he said, the hijacker yells at him and he's like, well, she just said we need to be in our seat, and you know this wasn't my seat. Y'all had just made me sit down somewhere. I need to take my ass back to business class. So when he gets to business class, he tells the hijacker, hey, here go my phone, because when y'all was taking phones, you know, I wasn't in my seat, but now I'm in my seat. So here you go. And they check his phone, and of course the text message isn't there. They just see the last, you know, text he did with his wife, which was like, don't you get on that plane, I'm already on the plane. So now Daniel ends up contacting a lady that works for like national security, like something along them lines, because she was like, why is you calling me for this? We don't handle this. But she ends up contacting the people with the flight, and they're like, hey, yeah, we was told that there was an incident, but then we was told it was a false alarm. And I think the guy who got shot in Dubai also thought it was weird, because he was like, wait, somebody called on this? I think that was him who said that. But they end up telling him it's a false alarm. So that's what he tells Idris' wife. And she's just like, oh, this the kind of stunts he pulled. This is what he does. Y'all, this was so... Who the hell gonna pull a stunt talking about something wrong on a damn plane? But anyway. So the girl Amanda, who was running late with her son, she get in there and she ends up being the only person to like notice and call out certain stuff that I'm like, why the hell nobody else is paying attention to this? Because it's a lot that just didn't make any sense. First of all, you don't have protocol for a pilot tells you there's an incident, then he tell you, oh no, false alarm. How can it be a false alarm? What the hell happened that made you think something was going on? And then we don't have a protocol where we immediately ground the plane so that because if I'm hijacking the plane, wouldn't I tell the pilot to tell you everything all cool? Oh, it was a false alarm. I don't know. It just, a lot of it did not make any sense to me. Like, we don't have a false alarm protocol, like, or we don't have like code words. You know how you just say something random like peaches, quesadilla, but it really means like, oh, we in trouble. I just don't understand why you wouldn't have anything like that, especially because the movie mentions like 9/11 and you know, different protocols. So I'm like, so since we have that as a part of the world of the movie, y'all ain't putting no protocols in place after that where you could like have code words or, you know, certain protocol if the pilot say something going on, but then he say, nah, it's a false alarm. Now, while the whole hijacking is happening, y'all, and you know, the hijackers is like, sit down, shut the hell up. Don't move. Don't make a sound. Babe, when I tell you, somehow Idris is able to keep talking, keep getting up, keep doing all kind of stuff. I feel like that don't make no sense. Like, come on now, child. Anytime you see a movie where you get that one character that be trying to negotiate with terrorists and the villains and stuff, they always get killed. The little coked out co-worker of Holly's and Die Hard trying to negotiate with the bad guys, he got killed. What was that movie with Cuba Gooding Jr.? Judgment Night. When Jeremy Pivens tried to negotiate with the bad guys in Judgment Night, he got killed. Sorry if that was two spoilers and y'all ain't never seen either one of the movies. But, like, you mean to tell me, I just feel like it don't make no sense that Idris ain't get killed. But it does make sense because once we put everything together, the hijackers ain't want to hurt nobody. So the whole situation is the people really pulling the strings gets the hijackers to do this because they hold like family hostage and stuff. But I was also confused because Stewart and his brother are two of the hijackers, right? Stewart is the main hijacker. Daniel was able to track down the mom because we get a situation on the plane where one of the passengers' uncle is getting like deadly sick. Like he looked like he about to die. And he tell the hijacker, the one that speak Arabic, like, can I just get my uncle medicine from overhead? This hijacker was also on the verge of getting on my nerves the way the girl was in the mode of why the hell are you so angry? But this was so stupid. He is yelling at them. He won't let them get the medicine. And I felt like I wouldn't have said nothing. I would have waited till he left and I would have snuck and just grabbed the damn medicine without him seeing. But he fussing at him. He yelling. And we trying to get the medicine. So finally, when the uncle literally looked like he on his last breath, the guy's just like, F it. He get up to get the medicine. And the guy sees him, the hijacker. And we get into this tussle, this melee. And what's this when it happened? Yeah, I think this is when the steward's brother is involved in this whole little brawl. And the guy sitting next to the passenger that's trying to get the medicine for his uncle, he gets these scissors that falls out of the little, because it looks like some kind of like first aid type of kit. It got the medicine in it, but like these little tiny scissors come out. And Stewart's brother gets stabbed. But we have this fight. Poe pastor who trying to get medicine for his uncle, he get beat up. And this was the dumbest thing ever. After the whole fight happens and everybody sit back down, then the hijacker who was just yelling at angry saying you can't get the medicine when the boy was asking, say, pick the stuff up and then get your uncle the medicine. Why didn't you just let him get the medicine in the first place? Like, why? yell, say no, get into a fight. When the fight over, say, clean this up, and then go ahead and get your uncle the medicine. Why you ain't just get the medicine let him get the medicine in the first place? Why go through all that just to then say, okay, get your uncle the medicine? Y'all, that got on my last goddamn nerve. Like, that was so irksome. But we end up having a lot of little moments on the plane where we trying to like figure different stuff out, right? So Idris pulls up on your little screen. You can like play a game with another passenger and chat with another passenger. So Idris is talking to Stewart, getting in his ear, saying how, you got everybody under control. You got everybody where you can see him except the pilot. The pilot shouldn't be up there. You can't trust him. He look like he gonna do something. So they end up having Stewart have the pilot like explain to him, about it being on cruise control or whatever. I think it's called, no, it ain't called cruise control, child. Whatever it's called, you on the plane, and it is kind of like cruise control. Like, the pilot don't actually, need to fly the plane unless we taking off or landing. That's what Idris tells Stewart. So Stewart ends up having the pilot sit in a regular seat. So Idris masterminded all that so that he could be messaging with the pilot. So we have these situations like that where we keep trying to devise these little plans so we could do stuff right. So the whole plan that he comes up with the pilot is whenever they be talking to you and you have to check in. So they talking, they trying to get in touch with the plane every time you hit somebody's airspace. And he keep trying to tell Stewart, I need to ask them, this gonna happen every time we hit an airspace, etc., etc. But what he does is he hits a little button to change them off course 3 degrees. Like, they were supposed to be 320 degrees, and he changed it to 323 degrees. Now, the people that are in the little flight ground control thing, we end up being like, hey, oh, wait. I skipped something. So they trying to get in touch with them, and the co-pilot ends up talking to them. And she lies and says she's the pilot, but they can see the information. She's a woman. The pilot supposed to be a man. So then they let the pilot come in, and he's like, oh, I had to step out for the bathroom. So the people on the ground is like, the plane didn't respond. We was 5 times we was trying to talk to them. Then they finally came on, and stuff is seeming suspect, right? So the lady Amanda, who was late to work dropping her son off, she comes in and she's piecing stuff together, and she's like, this smells dodgy. And that was something she had said to her son when she dropped him off. And it just didn't make any sense to me that it took for this lady to come in and tell y'all that some ish just didn't seem right. But then we also pull up the little flight plan, and we could see that they've deviated 3 degrees. And they end up putting it together that no, this is a subtle signal from the pilot that something is wrong. So we end up finding out that, this plane is being hijacked. And Daniel's ex that he been corresponding with let him know, yo, this might actually, be for real. But he don't tell the wife that information. So she goes on she has some kind of lecture or something that I ain't care about. They show her at the place and giving the lecture. Y'all, I had fast forwarded it because I was like, man, I don't really care about this. I really didn't. So we end up, like I said, we had all these little situations that would happen. Now, Idris ends up, how did he end up in the back? So we had this whole melee happen, and Stewart's brother gets stabbed. Oh, I just remembered. This is how Idris got back there. We end up getting into a conversation with it's 2 passengers in business class that speak Arabic, right? And the guy is saying how, I think he was in the military or he ran some kind of drills or exercises, and he says those guns, it's blanks in the guns. Because there was a moment on the plane during the hijacking where a gun went off and we just heard a bang. So we end up devising this whole thing of Idris being like, we need to be sure they're blanks. Like, how do you know? But the guy's like, unless I see it, I really can't verify. So what we do is we end up, the guy sitting next to Idris is like, we need to find the bullet. Like, if they shot, it should be a bullet somewhere. So he ends up pretending like he's sick. He got to go throw up. So he go in the bathroom and because he trying to like pass a note so that the other passengers, you know, in the regular class where the gun went off can try to look for the bullet. So he go in the bathroom, pretend he throwing up or whatever. He gets a note to them and we trying to find a bullet. So this one lady crawling around the ground, she looking for the bullet. We don't find no bullet. The hijacker catch up, but she like, I dropped my glasses. Now, the stewardess guy, the Asian guy who was talking to the young girls, he tells them one of the girls found a bullet in the bathroom. So the Arabic guy who say he know about blanks, he draws a picture of two bullets. One is a regular bullet, one is a blank. And he's like, if we can get her to say which bullet she saw, we'll know what we dealing with. So they end up going over to the store being like, you know, a 7-hour flight. We would normally be passing out food and drink. He don't let them do no food, but he said you can pass out some drink. So they passing out water. We get the paper to the girl and she is supposed to turn on her overhead light, you know, to let them know about the bullet. And wait, no. We turn on the overhead light if we found a bullet or didn't find a bullet. But then when we go to try to get the girl to tell us about the blank, we give her the paper and it's A or B. B is the blank. So when we end up talking to try to give the signal to Idris them that it's a blank, the stewardess says something with like about a B. And that's when they like B for blank. We find out it's blanks. So that's when Idris is like, the older guy in the back, the one who was, you know, helping the girl at the beginning, he got the most passengers and he the oldest. So that's the person I'm going to try and take out. So that's how he end up back there. The whole melee happens with the guy who want to get the medicine for his uncle. Stuart's brother gets stabbed. They tie Idris' hands up at the back of the plane. He back there with a stewardess and the brother that's been stabbed. Y'all, when I tell you, their brother was F the hell up. So we trying to help the brother, and Idris gets the guy to let him out. Like, keep my hands tied, but just, you know, untie me from this thing because I gotta help her with your wound. You bleeding very bad. So, long story short, Idris is back there by himself with Stuart's brother, and he's like, cell phone in his pocket. Do you want to call your mother? You know, you got a loved one. So what Idris does is he dials his wife while he talking to the kid that's dying and leaves a voicemail, then calls the kid mom so he could talk to his mama. So she gets the voicemail, I think, when she came out of her lecture. And she finds out that this whole hijacking is real. She sends the voicemail to Daniel. Daniel sends the voicemail to the old girl. And she plays it for everybody that's at the controls. We got like some lady who's like high ranking, who over everything, who's in there. I don't really know her position. But we on the ground trying to get this whole thing together. And the older guy ends up coming back and seeing what's happening with the boy on the ground dying. And we are able to make another plan because we got a doctor on board who comes back to help, right? So Idris goes back up to business class and he saw on the co-pilot, what's her name, Amanda? What's the co-pilot, Amanda? Anna. He sees on Anna's name tag that he sees a flag. Now, she can speak Hungarian. We finna fly over Hungary. So he sets it up where he goes to Stuart like, your brother got less than an hour to live. We need to land in Hungary. Get him some medical attention. So he playing this whole game. And he wants the co-pilot to tell them in Hungarian, which the hijackers don't understand, we being hijacked, we in trouble, because we still trying to like signal to the ground. Nobody knows that we hijacked. Well, you know, like they kind of know on the ground, but we don't think nobody on the ground knows. So Stewart is like, I'm sick of you like playing these games. And this is why I don't understand why Idris ain't just get killed. But then I do understand because we ain't really want to kill nobody. You know, like we got blanks. Which I was tripping. I was sitting here like, yo, is they really hijacking us with damn blanks? That tripped me out. I was flabbergasted at that revelation. I really was. Like, how the hell is you hijacking us with these fake ass guns? But Stewart ends up being like, I'm finna go ask the doctor. And if he don't say exactly what you just said under an hour or less than an hour, you gonna get killed. So when he goes to walk back, we call back there, which again, I feel like this was a little contrived, because why the hell did the doctor answer that phone? But anyway, he answers the phone and he gets told the less than an hour. He don't really know what they're talking about, but he hurry up, hang up the phone. Stewart is back there because Idris tried to tell him the man was petrified. That's why he told you your brother was stable. What else was he supposed to say? So Stewart is like, no BS this time. Give me the real. Like, is my brother gonna make it? And the doctor says he got less than an hour. We had to stab a pin through his chest so he could breathe, whatever. So we're able to put this plan in motion. We get the co-pilot up there, but she's like, I'll do it, but I don't want to be nowhere next to that nigga, the pilot. So she go up there by herself, and this was so intense. Because we got the hijacker girl who got attitude for days, and we got Stewart up there, and we got Idris. Why the hell they kept letting Idris just hang out with the hijackers was beyond me. Like, it was a moment where they moved one lady from business class to the back, and all the passengers like, what's going on? What's going on? She was like, someone up there has switched to their side. He's a traitor. And I thought they was about to play it where he really not on their side. He just trying to play them. But I thought it was going to be where, like, the passengers were all of the belief that he was on the hijacker side. But that ain't how it ended up playing out. But, so, we're talking and we're trying to get them to let us land for medical attention. But she tells them it's a little more intricate. They can only speak basic English. Now I have to switch to Hungarian. So she telling them, we been hijacked, nigga, help us. But it was so, because the hijackers would be like, well, what are you saying now? What did they just say? And they made her say, like, we need an ambulance or something in Hungarian before she started the call. So, like, you don't speak the language, but you can identify, okay, that's the same thing she said earlier. So, the plan is in motion. Baby, we about to land. They got SWAT team ready for us. But the female hijacker is upset. Like, you don't just get to say we could land. This ain't up to you. And then the other hijackers end up finding out that we literally are in the process of descending and landing. The older hijacker tells Idris, like, we can't land. They'll kill our families and yours too. And Idris is like, what the hell my family got to do with any of this? They ended up taking a picture of his passport earlier in the flight when he was like talking, trying to get in their ear and stuff like that. And this is what leads us to something that was very unnecessary. Now, remember them cleaners that was at the security lady house? So we end up having different cleaners in London call Idris' wife to like verify his address. They was making up something about they got a package and will somebody be home, etc., etc. So the cleaners get to Idris' house. They sitting in that mall watching the news, hanging out. They know ain't nobody at the house, but they just hanging out in the house. And the whole thing is, if the passenger causes problems, we gonna hold that family hostage to get them in line. But that sounds like way more trouble than it's worth. You got the passenger on the plane. Why do you need to take his family on the ground to get him in line? Why not just kill him on the plane, tie him up on the plane, gag him on the plane? Like, it's a whole lot of options you could do to him on the plane, as opposed to going all around this rigmarole to like get his family. That ain't made nothing, y'all. That did not make any sense. I mean, it just didn't. Now, the son of Idris and his wife, Kai, goes to his dad's house. And we end up seeing, he sees the cleaners come in the house, he hiding or whatever. But y'all, this was so stupid. So he's sneaking around. He see they got guns. They talking about, you know, what's happening with his dad and all this stuff. And at this point, he didn't think anything was wrong. Because remember, the last that Kai heard was when Daniel said nothing is wrong. So Kai is able to sneak past the cleaners, go into like this closet, call 911. He can't really talk where they could hear him. So the operator is just like, if you in danger, press certain button. And she said, we about to send some folks out, right? This was so nonsensical. I have never in my life. The police come to the door. The cleaner is able to say, you know, like, oh, ain't nobody called, you know, you sure it came from this flat? We are just the cleaners here cleaning. And y'all, why the police are just like, all right, peace out. I guess we'll go check another apartment. First of all, the police don't ever have it wrong what address called 911. Like, that did not make any sense to me. Like, it literally, like, pops up caller ID for them. Like, they know the address that you called from. But also, you mean to tell me you're responding to a 911 call from this residence. You do not speak to the owner of the residence. You just speak to some random stranger that say, hey, we just here cleaning, and you just dip. Y'all, that was the dumbest thing. But it wasn't as dumb as the cops come to the door. Kai decides he knows there are two people. He knows this, y'all. And with one person answering the door, Kai decides it's a grand idea to not only come out of hiding with no idea what a second person is, just staring blankly ahead, slowly just walking out like all is swell in the world. Y'all, this was so stupid. I mean, like, this was stupid. Why the hell would you, and if I'm gonna come out of hiding, baby, come out of hiding screaming, yelling for the cops. But why would you just come out of hiding? Y'all, he just had this blank, dumbass stare on his face, just walking slow. Come on now, child. I mean, like, y'all, this was so stupid. Of course, the second bad guy comes up behind him, put a gun in his head, grabs him, pulls him down. The only thing I pray, Lord, is that if I have kids, they do not be idiots. Like, please, Lord Jesus, don't let me have no dumbass kids. Like, please. I can't survive that. This was so stupid. I mean, beyond. Now, throughout the series, we don't know the hijackers' motivations for quite a while. And we have a situation where Stewart, was it Stewart? Y'all, what's the main hijacker name? Yeah, Stewart. We have a situation where Stewart tries to call the people in charge and nobody answers the phone. He just leaves a voicemail. So obviously we know that the hijackers ain't really like in control. It's somebody else pulling the strings, right? Now, when Idris left the voicemail for his wife from Stewart's brother's phone, Daniel gets the number that was called, because I think Idris like says the phone number in the voicemail. We track it down to the hijacker's mother, and we end up having a hijacker's identity because we get the list of passengers, we run everybody. We only find one person with like a serious criminal offense, and we have 5 people who Daniel comes up with, they literally like don't exist. They have valid passports, but there is like nothing on these people, and that they're like, okay, these are our 5 hijackers. We get to the hijacker's mom's house, and this got to be the dumbest thing ever as well. So Daniel is in there with his partner. The partner steps outside, so it's just Daniel and the hijacker's mom. And she's spinning this tale about the dad getting killed because they thought we grassed them, which I think she was saying like betrayed them. So basically, it's like this organization. You gotta like do what they say or whatever. And apparently they have like strong reach, but really their reach is just forcing people to do stuff by holding their family hostage, because they end up going to this reporter to leak the information that to the public that this flight has been hijacked by like threatening him with some dirt they had on him. But anyway, the thing that was stupid was Daniel is talking to the mom. She started crying and upset, talking about, can I go get a tissue? What world does a cop questioning Hijacker's mom, who should be a suspect, just let her walk out of your sight in her house? This lady could have went to grab a gun, a damn grenade. This was so stupid, and I feel like it just did not make any sense. So the partner come in, and she's like, where the hell the lady go? Oh, she want to go get some tissue. And we see his tissue sitting right there. So that's when we go see the lady running. So we chase after her. She ends up diving in traffic. Now, when it came to this whole organization thing, I feel like they went a little too far for me. Because I was just like, y'all, and admittedly, I may not get it because I was spacing a bit. Because like I said, I just felt like this started just veering into kind of ridiculous territory. But I didn't understand the whole thing. It's like this. The mom was pretty much saying, everybody on this block work for the organization. They know you here. They killed my husband. Now my son's doing this hijacking. And I wasn't clear on, are the sons doing the hijacking because the company threatened y'all mama? Like because the dad was working with these people, right? So now the sons working with them. Are they working with them of their own free will and volition? Are they working with them because the mom was threatened? But I didn't get this whole thing. It just went a little too far for me personally. But now back on the plane, Idris ends up deciding, oh shoot, we can't land. Because that's when he's told by the older guy, who ends up talking about this little nefarious secret group as well, that like they killed, these guys' dad. And it's just like, how you know they did it? Because I'm the one pulled the trigger. They had me kill your dad. And they gonna kill your family too. Like, this is what they do or whatever. They know who you are. And he says like his full name because we sent your passport. So that's when he runs over like for us not to land. And Stewart's brother ends up dead. That's why Stewart don't land the plane. And at first he get mad thinking they did something, but the brother did it himself. He did not want them to land the plane. He pulled the little thing out of his chest that he was breathing through. And I don't know. I just feel like we got a little too far left for my taste with this whole secret nefarious group that just can reach everybody and pull all these strings. And I don't know, it didn't ruin the series by any means, but it just kind of irked me a bit. I just was like, man, what is this for? Like, why do we have to do all this? But we also had a situation on the flight where the parents I was telling y'all about, the doctor goes back to his seat, right? And they have 2 kids with them. This did not make a lick of bit of sense. I mean, like, no. It was quite a few things in this that I was just like, this don't make no damn sense. But whatever, I just rolled with it. But the daughter ends up going missing. Now, you got each parent sitting on the very end and the 2 kids sitting in between them. And suddenly their daughter gone. Crawling around the floor. First of all, what the hell was the daughter doing? Why was she crawling around the floor? For what? Like you just got up to crawl around the floor? Like, why did the little girl get up? But also, you mean to tell me on a plane, in economy, 2 parents with 2 kids sitting between them don't notice their daughter got the hell up and left? How she get past y'all? It didn't make any sense. So this whole situation happens. Stuff is getting out of control. Passengers is going crazy. We yelling for everybody to sit the hell down. Stewart goes to change his blanks to real bullets. They telling everybody you got 10 seconds to sit down or somebody gonna get killed. So the parents is looking for that little girl, and the random lady who the neurotic mom got into it with, she looking for the little girl too. The lady finds her daughter crawling on the floor. She hugged the daughter, and I'm saying, like, lady, can you get in your damn seat? Can you hug your daughter in the seat? Cause they counting down that y'all need to be in the damn seat. Y'all, why the little girl got up? What was she doing? Cause that bugs the hell out of me. What was the little girl doing? But anyway, they end up shooting the lady, and like the episode ends, and I ain't really know who got shot. But come to find out, they shot the lady that was looking for the little girl. And I thought that was dumb as hell. If you trying to get the passengers in line, why the hell do you shoot and kill the one passenger that was not causing a ruckus or being defiant or not being compliant? Like, why do you choose that passenger? That did not make no sense to me. Why would you not choose passengers that have been giving you a hard time? Like Idris, like the guy who started the fight trying to get medicine for his uncle, or why would you pick the one person that's being compliant? I just did not think that made any sense at all. They got on my nerve. They really got on my nerve. But I'm just confused on why were the hijackers being forced to do this? Because the hijackers ain't want to kill nobody. Like, they was going back and forth about, you said nobody would get hurt. I don't know. It just felt weird. I'm still not clear on that. Because, like, the older guy says he's been working for this little secret nefarious company and killed the people dad. Like, they make you, like, work for them for years? Like, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Now, they finally give their demands around, like, the 5th episode, I think. The secretary is walking outside of a building. Somebody come up to him and hand him an envelope that got their demands in it. And basically, the demands is to let these 2 criminals out of jail who supposed to be, like, the worst criminals ever. You know what I mean? So now the entire series was really like, edge of your seat, like, but once we got to like the final moments of this whole situation, it really got goddamn intense. So y'all, I cannot rave about this show enough. Like, it was so, intense is just the main word I can think of. It was so freaking intense. Like, every time stuff would happen, you didn't know what was going to happen, if somebody was going to get killed, how things was going to play out, how this whole thing was going to end, and especially before we knew any demands, and even when we knew the demands, but even before we knew like what the people wanted from this hijacking, it just was like, are they just going to crash the plane? Like what are we, like, what's the end game? And even after finding out the demands, it was still a, how the hell is this going to end, situation. But we end up going back and forth about whether or not we're going to let the prisoners go, right? And the secretary whole thing is like, well, how do we know how serious these guys is? Like, they threatening to kill 216 passengers, but is they really going to do it? So they end up having a situation where they show the person that they killed, right? Because Stewart gets instructions to kill a passenger. And Idris' whole thing is, well, you already killed the passenger. We don't have to kill nobody else. Just take her picture and send it to him. And that's what they end up doing, right? So that's when the lady is telling the secretary, well, they done killed this lady. You see her up on the screen smiling, like they obviously are serious. So we end up letting the prisoners go. And the whole thing is not to follow them. And I thought this was so stupid. Why do they have Daniel and like 2 other cars of cops following behind the prisoners on like a vacant road? It ain't like we following them on a busy damn highway where it just a bunch of cars and we blending in. It is literal and empty. It looks like a countryside road. And they following like I don't know, 20 feet behind them. And it was also stupid because we have a drone and we have a tracking device on the car. So we keeping tabs on them. Why did we need to physically follow so close behind them? It was so stupid. So the two guys in the car, who are these two bad guys that we wanted out of prison, they end up stopping their car. Daniel was like, oh, cover blown, y'all, cover blown. Are y'all stupid? So the bad guy gets out of the car, hands Daniel a cell phone. Like, y'all had one job. That was to not follow us. So they're like, we finna kill somebody on the plane. Y'all, this was so stupid. This was so stupid. Why did y'all need to follow? Okay, whatever. So we're watching them from the drone, right? And they come up on like a crash. And they call Daniel, who is no longer following them. They just sitting in the damn road. And they're like, we finna kill another passenger because y'all done caused, for the road to be blocked up. And Daniel was trying to tell him, we ain't got nothing to do with that. We ain't blocked no damn road. So they end up being like, nope, yes you did. We finna kill somebody. And they veer off the road. And now this was the only thing that made sense to me. They're trying to get down the road, but it's blocked. The prisoners who got released swearing that Daniel them blocked the road, but we turn off the road to go like through wilderness where we obviously planned to be under these trees, which I felt like the people that was like over this whole thing, I'm like, baby, y'all ain't never seen no movie. Obviously, when you go in a damn tunnel and come out the other end or go under some trees and come out, that ain't still them. Like, that's so obvious. But we go under these trees. The car comes out. Come to find out, that's not them in the car. They done went somewhere else. So that would tell me that y'all planned to deviate to go down there and get under those trees and switch cars. So why was y'all mad that the road was blocked off when you wasn't even or did they cut through and go past where the street was blocked? Or I don't know. It made no sense to me. But maybe I'm missing something. Because I feel like they deviated, got off the block road, went under the trees, switched cars. But maybe I'm reading that wrong and they deviated, went through to go past where the road was blocked, and then went to their meeting spot under the trees. That could very well be the situation that happened. We end up sending around like this juice that says get ready to shake things up. We're sending it around the whole plane because we getting ready to fight back. Because at this point we know that all the hijackers have blanks in their gun, and the only person that got real bullets is Stewart. So we all planning to fight back. And of course the neurotic mom had to be annoying and get us all caught. So the whole melee starts, we fighting back, and this pissed me off. While the whole melee starts in the back of the plane, and the hijackers that's up here by the pilot, which is the lady and Stewart, they walking back, leaving us unattended. First of all, the second Stewart ain't here, the pilot, the girl hijacker, we know she ain't got real bullets. You done already beat the brakes off another woman. Surely you could take out the female hijacker and get your ass to the cockpit. But he was taking excruciatingly long to finally get the hell up and go to the cockpit. It was on my freaking nerves. Now, no male hijackers are near him. Like, he literally could just go. Like, all you got is the female hijacker in your way. The passengers finally, like, grouped together. We're fighting back. All of a sudden, the random lady that Idris had sat next to when this all popped off, she go to the bathroom, pulls out a gun from her purse, and I didn't think this made no sense. She goes towards the cockpit, she shoots and kills the pilot, and she locks herself in the cockpit. The passengers done finally took the plane from the hijackers. But the hijackers is trying to tell them, we don't know who the hell this lady is or what the hell she doing. Now, we don't know nothing about each other. The hijackers made everybody sit down, sit still. Nobody could get up. So if the passengers hadn't revolted, how would this lady have been able to get her purse, go to the bathroom, and get to the cockpit? This was the plan all along, right? The two guys that got released from prison, like, the lady came on the plane knowing this is what she was supposed to do. Apparently, they like holding her daughter hostage. Which I was confused because at the very end of the series, she calls her daughter and just like, hey, what's up? I'm coming home. Was she kidnapped or not? Because if you kidnapped, how you answer your I don't know. That didn't make no sense. But anyway, it didn't make any sense to me. How would this have played out if the passengers hadn't revolted and took back the plane from the hijackers? Like, that was the distraction that let her be able to kill the pilot, get to the cockpit. And I feel like it shouldn't have even worked. That pilot should have got to that cockpit and locked it. Like, that irked my nerves so badly. But why kill the pilot? Like, why not just go to the cockpit and lock the door? Like, why did you have to kill the pilot? I didn't understand that. But anyway, this is when the passenger that was running late, because we all are gathered outside the cockpit, she, finna crash the plane. So we trying to get in there. We like trying to break the door down. And this is when that passenger who was running late for the plane come up to say like he did the stock deal. And everybody get like, are you with them? You a hijacker? He trying to say I'm not with them. But y'all, it just ain't make no sense. But Idris is on the phone trying to talk to the lady, but she not really hearing them. She is waiting for a text message, right? Now, this ain't make no sense. Back on the ground, the two prisoners that escaped are at like this landing strip or whatever to get on like this little small plane. And one guy is telling the other prisoner, send her the text, because basically the stock is crashing, we getting rich, right? And if the plane crash, we get even more money, but we already getting a lot of money. So the plan is to send her a text and she just lands the plane. We done got rich. If we don't send her a text, she crashes the plane and we get even richer. Now, one of the prisoners is telling the other guy who's texting her, go ahead, send her the text. Hurry up, send her the text. The guy not doing it, he getting greedy. He want to get more money. So the prisoner that's telling him, text the lady on the plane, he walks over to another guy like, okay, we're going to have to move this up and do it now. And the guy kills the man who wasn't sending the text. So obviously it was already planned that we was going to kill him. But then we just leave and we never send a text to the lady. So why was you fussing at the man to go ahead, send her the text, and you kill him and never send the text? So now she on the plane with no text. And we trying to figure out how we can get to this lady. She got a daughter, and that's how Idris tried to, talk to her, saying, trying to get her in. And she ends up being like, I'll only let you in because they gonna kill me. Now, while that's happening on the plane, the wife is talking to Daniel, and she comes home and she feel like her son is missing, right? Now, Daniel ends up calling Kai. Now, at this point, the cleaner's just sitting in there watching the damn news. Again, this all felt so unnecessary. They're just sitting there watching the damn news, watching about the stock and the plane and all that other mess. And they have him answer the phone, which I didn't think made no sense. I'm holding the boy kidnapped. What do I need? Why he need to answer the phone? But anyway, he answers the phone and he's telling Daniel that, yeah, I'm at my dad's house. No, it's no need for you to come. I'm going to ride my bike back home. The bike I was on this morning. And this morning he was on a stationary like exercise bike. So obviously that relays to Daniel that I'm in trouble, like something wrong. Now this whole thing felt unnecessary, but baby, this next part was very smooth. They end up hearing the fire alarm at the apartment complex, the flat. Now the one apartment is called a flat. What's the whole apartment building called? But Daniel knocks on the door. One of the cleaners answers the door, and he's like, hey, you know, this not a drill. We evacuating. It's a fire. We got to get out of here. So they leave Kai. Wait, no. They don't leave Kai. They walking out. The cleaners start to walk out, and that's when SWAT come and take them down. And Kai is safe. Now, the way they did this whole thing was real fly. That was smooth. I like how they got that kid out of there. I like how they got the cleaners. But them being at Idris' house, it just felt very unnecessary. Like, it didn't make any sense. Now, something else that ain't make sense to me is everybody that is working on how to resolve this and the issue with the plane, y'all, we have not been able to get in touch with the plane. The plane is about to hit a populated area. I think like downtown London or something like that. City capital something. As they're talking over this, as the audience, I'm sitting here like, baby, y'all gonna have to shoot the damn plane down. Because I get it, it's 216 passengers. But we're talking about thousands of people that can be killed if this plane crashes in this populated area. I just feel like, I don't know how realistic it was that they ain't shoot that damn plane down. I'm sorry. I mean, I just didn't. We're talking about thousands versus hundreds. Now, Idris is able to get in the cockpit with old lady. With the lady that's in there. Now, I thought, y'all, this was a little tearjerker. When we take the plane back, Idris is in the cockpit. We get all the cell phones back. We don't even know whose cell phone it is. We just handing out cell phones. And people is calling their families. Now, I didn't cry, but my eyes watered up. That was so hard to watch. That was so sad. But I don't know why we threw in a random lady who was like, I don't have anyone to call. Why we put that in there? Well, she the only American on the plane, because why? She ain't had nobody to call. Like, baby. So, and I didn't like the fact that, I don't know. Okay, whatever. She ain't had nobody to call. Now, we in the cockpit. We trying to figure out how to land the plane. So we called the, like, ground control people, Amanda them, the lady who had the son. And we're trying to, like, get the plane land. The lights cut off. We damn out of gas and all kind of stuff. So it's still the suspense of how is this going to end. Like, yeah, we done took the plane back from the hijackers, but baby, are we finna crash? And we go through this whole thing. We trying to land the plane. She need Idris to help her. But it still looked like as we trying to land, we could still die. Because it looked like the wing fall off, the engine catch fire. Like, the whole plane could damn blew up. But we are able to land and we all survive. The hijackers are tied up. Now, I forgot to mention, this was really stupid. We got 216 passengers on the plane. During the moment when we're trying to break into the cockpit, we decide that instead of asking one of the passengers to help us knock down the door, we untie Stewart, the main hijacker, to help us knock down the door. Come on. Look, y'all, nothing gonna be perfect, okay? Like, nothing gonna be perfect. But come on. Like, really? We got 216 passengers. We had about, 10 gathered around the cockpit trying to break into it. We couldn't go get somebody to help us besides untying the hijacker, but whatever the hell. But I had to mention that because that's going to come into play. So we finally land, and even though we just went through a traumatic experience and we've been held hostage for 7 hours, we are able to all peacefully exit the plane. Nobody got trampled. Nobody was running. We just single file out the plane. And we walked single file down these stairs. We ain't even jump off the plane into the little inflatable thing. Now, I remember my one experience riding, being on the plane. I had to do the connecting thing. And I ended up in Atlanta airport. And when I tell y'all that was the worst experience of my life, I felt like I was damn on Mars. That place is damn huge. Especially because I flew out of where I live, Jacksonville, like our little airport. It just ain't nothing compared to goddamn Atlanta. But before I got off to connect to my second flight, they literally made an announcement on the plane that the flight was running late and to please let people off first that have a connecting flight to catch. Do you think them heathens actually did that? No, it took me for the hell ever to get off that plane. But you mean to tell me after being held hostage for 7 hours, these people just nicely single file getting off the damn plane? Okay, whatever. Now, this got on my nerve. Everybody getting off the plane, you know, we safe. Why the hell was Idris taking his good goddamn time getting off the plane? Come on, man. Come on, man. Like, y'all, this did not make any sense at all. Like, it literally felt like they were just dragging. Like, just, why was he taking so long to get off the plane? Oh, I know why. Because we had to do this dumbass, stupid, y'all, this ruined it. They ended up having it where Idris stayed, he's not doing nothing. He's just lingering on the plane by himself. And then right before he decides to finally get off the plane, he goes to his seat to grab that piece of jewelry he bought for his wife. Just as Stewart, who we untied, closes the door to the plane so he could kill Idris. Y'all, this was so stupid. This was so stupid. We should have just ended this mug like before. We did not need this. So we get this whole little situation with them. And earlier in the episode, Stewart was acting like he was about to hit Idris with his gun. And he tells him to say cheese. So at the end, when they get into this little tussle, and SWAT finally gets on a plane and they finna take down Stewart, Idris says, say cheese. Now look, child. I love a little cheesy action movie one-liner. But that was so terrible. I mean, come on now, child. That wasn't even good. Like, y'all, we didn't need this. Y'all went off the rails. We did not need this at all. But I just don't understand. So every villain, like, was just a person forced to do this because their family was being held hostage. Oh, and something else that I didn't think made no sense. When Idris gets in the cockpit and they trying to figure out how to land a plane, he gonna tell them, okay, y'all, this lady needs some reassurances because she killed the pilot and she don't want to go to jail. So y'all need to get her some reassurances. And the secretary is like, oh, I give you my word, you're not going to jail. Nigga, you crazy? Like, okay, maybe you just say that so she could land a plane, but ain't no way in hell you done killed this man in cold blood. Like, you could have shot him in the arm or something. You shot him in the head, lady. I'm sorry your daughter was being held hostage, which honestly, it don't seem like she was being held hostage because once you get off the plane, you able to just call her and be like, hey, what's up? I'm coming home. So was she held hostage or not? I don't know. But you just killed somebody. You gonna have to do some kind of time. Like, we could, you know, take that into consideration at your sentencing. But you can't just get off scot-free. But you know what? Overall, I did thoroughly enjoy this. I mean, not a dull moment, really. I did, you know, fast forward past the wife giving her little lecture, but I just didn't care. I'm just like, man, I don't want to sit through this. Like, why do we need to see her at this place giving her lecture? So I did kind of fast forward. But outside of that, not a dull moment. Definitely did very good, like keeping up the tension. The pacing was really good. And overall, I enjoyed this. I will say, I would have either liked to see Idris' character reunite with his family. Like, why the hell wasn't y'all there when the plane landed? Because, like, we had SWAT set up. We knew where they was finna land at. So why the hell y'all wasn't there? I don't know. But I would have liked to see that. Or I would have liked to love to see if Idris' character in the end was a villain. Because the hijackers ain't know nothing about the other lady that was, you know, finna take the plane. It was a lot of pieces they didn't know about. So I would have liked if Idris was a villain, maybe at the top of the food chain, and he was the one orchestrating this whole thing, and he came out rich. I don't know. That would have been a nice little twist. But So did the guy that got out of prison and killed the other guy, he just got away scot-free? Like, he just rich and he just off? And what about this whole little nefarious group that be forcing people to do stuff? They just still running things? Like, it's really no resolution for that stuff. Like, they just still evil and holding people family hostage to make them do stuff, and got away with, you know, killing that lady, security lady family, and killing the guy that came over that was suspecting stuff in Dubai. Like, they just got away with it. But let me know in the comments, how did you feel about Hijack if you saw it? And if you didn't see it because you like me and you ain't got no Apple devices, see if you can get Apple, because now I've discovered you can get Apple even if you don't have any Apple devices. So if you have T-Mobile like I do, hey, you can get it. And I don't know if this is like a special for everybody, but T-Mobile gave me Apple free for like 6 months. It's like some kind of promotion. So hey, maybe you can get the promotion as well. But let me know in the comments, how did you feel about Hijacked? And make sure you have your notifications on, because we will be continuing with our Apple series. I don't know which one. Y'all, which one should we do next? I don't know. Because Hijack got the most votes. I really want to see Blackbird, but I don't know if my heart could take it. But the preview looked gooder than a mug. And oh, also y'all, Silo. Is it called Silo? Yes, Silo. Now, I haven't seen a preview for Silo, but they got my girl in it that I really like from Mission Impossible and from the Shining sequel. She's in it. So, and y'all really raved about Silo. So, I don't know. Maybe Silo will be next. Yeah, I might do Silo next. It'll be Silo. Okay, so on our Apple journey, we are going to go over Silo next. And if you have any other suggestions for really good things to watch and talk about from Apple, then just drop it in the comments and I will be sure to check it out. Thank you. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.